How's it going, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of The Link, brought to you by expforall.net. I'm Blake, and yes, we are back to our Friday time slot once again. I know we were doing these on Sundays for a little bit, but you know what? I decided, let's have it on Fridays. Sunday is just kind of an awkward day to release videos just because, the news for that given week has kind of already been faded out, and Friday things are relatively still fresh, and also things are still coming out on Friday. So, I figured, let's have this on Fridays. Once again, I feel comfortable having it on Fridays again, so that's what we're doing. But let's not waste any more time. We've got a ton of Nintendo stuff to talk about this week, so let's jump right into it. So if you've been having withdrawals since the Splatoon 2 test fire concluded late in March, and you've been just dying for more Splatoon 2 information, well, during Nintendo's Direct presentation, which they held earlier this week, Nintendo finally unveiled a slew of information regarding Splatoon 2, including the release date. Nintendo announced during their Direct presentation this week that Splatoon 2 will officially be arriving to the Nintendo Switch on July 21st, lining up perfectly with their original summer release window for the title. Splatoon 2 is set to feature a host of new maps, weapons, and modes. A new mode entitled Salmon Run was announced during the Direct, which acts as a horde mode of sorts where up to 4 players will go head-to-head against waves of chum enemies as you fight to secure an island. Splatoon 2 will also launch alongside a new series of Splatoon amiibo, which feature Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and Squid amiibo. Now these are brand new amiibos. I don't exactly remember what the older Splatoon amiibos look like. I believe it was just Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl though, but these are reworked amiibos. They're brand new ones. They're different figurines. I don't really know how exactly they're supposed to act in the game yet. I'm not really sure if they announce how exactly what they'll do in the game when you activate the amiibo or whatever, but I know a lot of people are going to be after these. Yes, they launch alongside Splatoon 2 on July 21st, so if you want to get those amiibo alongside the game's launch, you better pre-order right now because those things are going to sell out extremely fast. Now, I just want to say that I did play the Splatoon 2 test fire beta, which took place late in March. It was like March 24th or something like that. And this was my first time actually sitting down and playing Splatoon, and oh my god, I had so much fun. Splatoon now is easily one of my favorite Nintendo games, and it's definitely now easily one of my most anticipated 2017 titles. I cannot wait for this game. I know for sure, one thing for sure is I'm gonna have to buy a Pro Controller to play the game, because playing with the Joy-Cons just does not work. Just the analog sticks, no, I'm really not trying to do that anymore. But nonetheless, I'm extremely excited for Splatoon 2. So happy that it's still coming out in its summer release window, but July 21st, man, that's feels like so far away, but you know what, I am so hyped for this game. I will pretty much wait no matter how long, just as long as I get my hands on it eventually. So ARMS is another title that is also on the way for the Nintendo Switch. It's another title that a lot of people have been pretty hype about, and it's one of the other titles that Nintendo focused heavily on their Direct presentation that took place earlier this week. Nintendo has also announced that ARMS will be arriving on June 16th, literally days before its initial spring release window comes to a close. That's right at the tail end of spring. That's 3 days away from summer officially again. It's Nintendo, why do you do this? During the Direct presentation this week, Nintendo announced a brand new fighters for the game, Min Min and Springman. A 2-on-2 mode was also confirmed for the game, as well as fighter customization. Now, I want to touch on the fighter customization real quick because I don't think this was something that they announced previously. I think it was sort of speculated that there would be something like that implemented into the game, but I don't think it was confirmed until the Direct. So basically, every single fighter in the game has their own abilities. They have their own abilities. Every fighter is unique because of their abilities, and each of their punches kind of do something different because they have a different set of arms compared to another fighter. So basically, if you want to have a very extra unique playstyle, you can customize your own fighter and attach different arms to it. I'm assuming how this is probably going to work is you have to unlock different characters in the game, and as you unlock those characters, you also unlock their arms as customization pieces to use with your customized fighter if you choose to take that route, rather than just straight up choosing one of the characters from the roster and just going head-to-head, going into combat. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad to see that they're adding in some customization or within it. I'm hoping that they touch more on the online side of things, like before the game officially launches. I want to know how the netcode is going to work. I want to know how the online is going to work, and I want to know a little bit more about this 2-on-2 mode. Like, is this something we'll only be able to play with AI? Is this something we'll be able to do online? I really want to know. I'm really interested in how this is going to work. But ARMS, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I'm not really sure if I'm not really sure if I really want to pick this title up. It's too unique of a fighter. Like, it's a little bit too unique. Not saying I don't like unique things, but it's a little too unique for me to like fall in love with. So I guess we'll see what happens as we quickly approach the release date of June 16th. So if you're one of those people who are still on the search for an NES classic console or an NES mini console, whatever you want to call it, you might want to start looking a little bit harder, because April might actually be the last month you'll be able to get your hands on one of these. In a saddened report this week from IGN, it has officially been confirmed that Nintendo will cease NES Classic shipments in the US after April. A Nintendo representative announced the news to IGN and had the following to say. Throughout April, NOA territories will receive the last shipments of Nintendo Entertainment System's NES Classic Edition systems for this year. We encourage anyone interested in obtaining the system to check with retail outlets regarding availability. We understand that it has been difficult for many consumers to find a system, and for that we apologize. We have paid close attention to consumer feedback, and we greatly appreciate the incredible level of consumer interest and support for this product. Now, in addition to this, it was actually announced today that the Famicom Mini or the Famicom Classic Editions are actually also ceasing production, so those will no longer be shipping. I'm not really sure if that's also happening this month. I'm pretty sure it is. So over in Japan, because I believe that's the only region they're available in, it looks like this is going to be the last month for them to get their hands on their Famicoms as well, or their NESs as well, since the NES is technically the Famicom there and the Famicom here is technically, you know how it works. But anyway, so yeah, if you really want to get your hands on one of these, like really, really badly, and you don't really trust, grabbing one from a retailer this month, you might want to just go on eBay, buy one for like, I don't know, $30 to $50 more. I know those scalpers be upping the prices, but grabbing one off one of those, or grabbing one off online this week is probably going to be your best bet, because after the word circulates that they are ceasing production on these, ceasing shipments, people are really going to skyrocket on their prices. So do what you have to do to get one, basically. Alright, so you guys remember that Pikmin title for the 3DS that Nintendo announced, I don't know, it was like late last year during one of their directs before, I think it was before the Nintendo Switch teaser came out. It was sometime before then. So it was like, yeah, kind of towards the back half of 2016. Well, during their direct presentation this week, they actually touched on that title, and it's got a brand new name as well. Nintendo has confirmed during their 3DS segment of the direct presentation this week that the previously announced Nintendo 3DS Pikmin title, now officially entitled Hey Pikmin, will be arriving on the handheld this July. The first Pikmin game for the Nintendo 3DS finds Captain Olimar embarking on an adventure through lush worlds with his trusted Pikmin by his side. In a new type of Pikmin game, players are tasked with throwing all types of different Pikmin using the touchscreen to solve puzzles, overcome challenges, and defeat enemies through side-scrolling levels. Hey Pikmin officially arrives on the Nintendo 3DS on July 28th and will launch alongside a new amiibo figure based on the Pikmin series. Details regarding how this amiibo will affect in-game play are yet to be announced. Now, even though I don't know, I've always sort of imagined Pikmin to arrive on the 3DS. Like, before Pikmin 3 was officially announced, I always thought Pikmin 3 is going to be on the 3DS. Like, I thought Pikmin 3DS is just perfect. So I always imagined a Pikmin title being on the 3DS. Wasn't really expecting a platformer, to be honest. I kind of imagine it to, be like, I don't know, like Chibi Robo or something like that, like the 3DS version that launched for it. But hey, they're taking the platformer route with it. It really kind of reminds me of Mario versus Donkey Kong gameplay, just less restricted. It's like basically an open world platformer kind of. So and you're using the Pikmin to solve puzzles. So it sort of reminds me of that in a way. Yes, the 3DS is still plowing out with titles like it's crazy, and this is one of the bigger ones for the for the system launching during the first half of 2017. I'm definitely going to be picking this up, even though I haven't even played any of the Pikmin games. I think a platformer would just work better for me. I could just jump right into it and kind of know what I'm doing. But you know what, now that I think about it, I really should go back and play some of the Pikmin titles. I think I will start with the first one because I know it's available on the Wii U, or it's available, you basically play on the Wii U because of the Wii. I think they have like a remastered edition or something on the Wii that's 1 and 2. So anyway, Pikmin Love. It's finally coming to the 3DS, finally. I thought it would happen years ago, but I guess it's happening now. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's episode of The Link, brought to you guys by expforall.net. As usual, you can check out all the other news we've run throughout the past week or so. Headed on over to www.expforall.net. We're also on Twitter as well. You can find us on there at twitter.com/expforall, and we're on facebook.com as well at facebook.com/expforall. Anyway, I am losing my mind. I am forgetting everything that I'm supposed to say. I am just completely out of it. So until next week, you guys keep on gaming, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.